Yeah, what's up? What's up?
I'll tag y'all in just a second, but you know you have to do that on the Mevo thing.
Yeah.
What's up,
we know.
Facebook? Good morning, everybody.
Facebook, YouTube,
All
Instagram,
y'all, all that good stuff.
Periscope.
Periscope,
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
Man.
Make sure y'all
Google
follow.
Play coming soon. iTunes coming soon.
Yeah. Maxgas.com. Like we got.
Maxgas.com. Yeah,
I think we got a lot of channels now.
Yeah,
No
well,
lie.
I figured out why we didn't get on iTunes and Google Play yet. So apparently they sent an email because you have to have a Gmail account.
Which you have.
Right, but I used the Yahoo account.
Good job.
So yeah, that was my
Good
fault.
job.
So I fixed that, and so now we're back in the process to get.
Yeah. Okay.
That was
was that cold day when you wasn't feeling good?
Yeah, that was like, but I also did that at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I woke up and it was like, well, let me do something positive and productive.
Yeah.
And I was trying to, and I was like, oh, that's why.
Good job.
So, yeah.
Yay.
MVP of the week.
Yay.
Well, you know.
MVP of the week.
I'm going to be MVP. Ain't nothing to that.
Say it ain't so.
Q, what's up with you this week, man?
Let me tell you what's up with me this week. First of all, and I'm glad we kind of doing it like this. This week has been one of those weeks where, you know, can I say this? And I know we kind of just talking, but we really not. We kind of mashing gas, but in a positive way.
Right.
Yeah.
But I want to keep this as positive as I can get.
Okay.
You know, when you say that you are a friend to somebody, be a friend to that person. Even if, you know, for example, I have friends that we don't have to talk for like 2 or 3, 4 weeks, and then we can call each other and pick up, and it's like we never stop talking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, but at the same time, I want people that say that they are friends to you, or if they say that they love you and all this kind of stuff as a friend, if you going through your tragedy, which tragedies are horrible, but if you're going through your tragedy, but in my life, you wasn't even there for the good times, let alone the bad ones, but we even talking about the good times. If you wasn't there in my greatness, or whatever the case it is, don't call me when it's time for you to dump your shit on somebody else. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Because my thing is, I'm on this tip right now, and I think it's just maybe, you know, the fact that I'm getting just a little older, but I'm on this tip right now where I don't want to deal with nobody that don't want to have really nothing to deal with me. And I'm just on this tip right now that I'm not fit to sit up here and let you dump your junk on me every time you go through something. Now, whether your tragedy might be bad, but unfortunately, it's not bad for me. And I'm not saying that I don't care, and I'm not saying that I don't have any empathy for anybody. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I ain't trying to fuck with you if you don't fuck with me. Period.
Now, I feel you, Q. However, I do have to question you. And I ask everybody this question because you have friends like me.
Right.
Now, I'm not a friend that's going to be all up in your face, calling you all the time, and what you doing, how you doing, and I don't do that. That's not the type of friend I am.
Right.
I'm the type of friend where you need something, you call me, you got it. That's me. I come through for you. And but anybody that knows me knows, I ain't going to be all up in your face. I ain't going to, hey, how you doing? Let's go hang out and...
Is that why you ain't returning like 3 of my text messages this week?
Probably so.
You know what? Fuck you, friend.
Some friend.
But I will tell you this: anybody that has known me long enough will know that that's how I am.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal. Ain't nothing personal. But I'm that kind of friend that if you need me, you call, I'll be there.
But you
that's
know,
it.
but see, that's something about you though, that you make up front.
Yeah.
And at least, like for example, if it's something that if you knew that I was going through, bro, you would call me and say, "Q, you all right?"
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you pick up the phone and you would say something. But if you the type of person, you know what I'm saying, that if we were doing really, really good and I post something on Facebook like, "Oh my God, I'm in Hawaii," I get a like from you. But somebody in your family died and you trip because I sent a heart or something. And then you have a whole attitude with me because I didn't come to your people's funeral.
Right.
Or I didn't send a card. But I thought you supposed to be my friend. I mean, I'm supposed to be just your friend in the bad stuff?
Oh,
You can't
right.
you can't even be cool with me in the good
Some
shit.
of the good stuff.
You see what I'm saying? So that's just kind of what I'm saying. I want to encourage everybody. You know what I'm saying? People that don't mean you no good, let me tell you something. You move them aside.
Yep.
Just because a person is going through what they're going through, that don't make them your priority. Your priority is you.
Correct.
And I'm
I
just
just did a set on that this week.
Did
I
you?
was talking about that during my show. If y'all didn't catch it, I'm gonna have to do a
I
watch.
caught a little bit of it,
Yeah.
before I had to go in there and
But I
look at
mean,
the
negative
but
people
yeah.
will suck you dry.
They'll try to.
You know, and you hate it when it be like somebody that you've been friends with for a long time.
Right,
You know,
right.
15, 20 years you've been friends with them. All of a sudden they have just such a negative spirit on you. And you're just
Right,
like,
right.
friend, where did that come from? You know, like I've never known you to be a negative person. All of a
Right.
sudden, we hit 2020 and everything bothering you. And now everything is negative. I just,
But
and
you
you don't
know
want to
what?
cut them people off.
But you know what? What I come to find out is that they always been that way. But see, and let me tell you why I say that. I always say that because my granny used to always tell me something. She always used to say, you know, don't ever think a person won't treat you like they treat others. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Just
right.
because you don't see it at the time because you cool with them, the way that they treat people, you may not look at it at that very, very moment. But the moment that it's something dealing with you, like, damn, you've been like that all that long.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah,
See what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes you got, even though in our relationships we supposed to be real cool with people, and then,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to really cut off a person, but it's okay to take your distance. It's okay
Oh, yeah.
to say, you know what, man, I got stuff to do for me, right?
Right,
At this moment.
right.
You see what I'm saying? It's
I
all right
ain't
to
mad.
do that.
I ain't mad at you on that one.
Yeah.
Not at all. I totally feel it.
You know, okay, so real quick, let's go ahead and continue with the show. We're gonna talk real quick about this young man that hit the news a couple of days ago. Young man in Mount Bellevue, Texas. Of course, that's going near the Houston, Texas area. And let's tell you what's going on real quick. Cut my hair or graduate. Should I keep my locks or cut them because the school district say I got to cut them in order for me to walk with my class? Here we go. On Martin Luther King Day, a district that touts its excellence found itself embroiled in a controversy about race discrimination and dreadlocks. This dress code designed by white people for white people is damaging to black bodies, says Black Matters activist Ashton Woods. Activists stood behind DeAndre Arnold, this is just young man's name, as they addressed the Barber Hills Independent School District Board. Okay, this is where this is. DeAndre has been suspended and will not be allowed to walk at his graduation in 3 months unless if he cut his locks. I'm gonna scroll down here. It says in the district says that there is no dress code policy that prohibits any cornrows. Or any method of wearing the hair, said the superintendent. Our policy limits the length. It has been that way for about 30 years. So real quick, let's talk about this young man. So his locks, according to this little picture, I wish I could show everybody. His locks are past his shoulders. Really pretty locks. They don't look like they're not kept up. You know, they look really nice on him. And thank you so much. It's khou.com. This is where the story is coming from. So if you want to take a look at that, again, khou.com. That's Channel 11 in Houston, Texas.
Yep.
So what y'all think about that? Now, Mo sent something in the inbox, and she said that it had nothing to do with the religion or the cultural aspect of it that everybody's making it to be. But Mo said it had something to do with the money, the school district money. Mo said that she felt like, you know, that it had something to do. I'm trying to look for what she said. Had something to do with the fact that the school district won't get a certain amount of money from the government if they don't abide by certain rules.
So they've been racist and prejudiced for 30 years.
I mean, we are in Texas.
I mean, I'm just saying. Because what does dreadlocks and the length of my dreadlocks have to do with my education? And ain't he in like the top 10% of his class or something like that? Like he's a brilliant student.
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with his hair?
Right.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Here's my thing is his hair did not happen overnight.
Right.
Not only that,
Right.
it's the middle of the school year.
Right.
So you allowed him to go to homecoming, but he can't go to prom and graduate. So apparently his hair has been this length for a while because the length of his dreads don't happen overnight.
Exactly.
Number two, it's just funny the timing in which they decide to put this all out there and then start attacking him.
Right.
Because one of the things that a lot of school districts will do is, especially schools that don't want to see a young black man graduate in the top of their class, they will start doing things and start enforcing rules to make you circumvent and bow down, so you either choose to graduate at the top of your class and abide by their rules, or you stick to your guns and you're not allowed to graduate at the top of your class. So they try to get you on a double-edged sword, and the only reason I know this is because the same thing happened to me. The exact same thing happened to me. No. It wasn't a hair thing. It was the fact that I got injured and I had to go out for surgery. So at that point in time, at the beginning of our senior year, me and Q, I was ranked number 1 in our class.
Right.
I was put on schedule. I was on schedule to graduate as a valedictorian. They told me that I could either have surgery and the school district would pay for it because I got injured during a school event. The school district was responsible. But if I went out and had surgery and I would be out for 3 weeks, that I could not graduate valedictorian.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
They actually knocked me 2 points off my GPA because I went out and had surgery.
And so that's how you end up being salutatorian. Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but and it's one of those things that I don't harp on it because at the end of the day, I made good for myself. You couldn't take away any of my scholarships.
Right.
You couldn't take. So if you want to try and get me, but then one of the things why I scared them was I was very academic. Then I was also athletic, and I was a young black male. The same group of men. Q, you was in there when they told us that we wouldn't live to see 25.
Oh yeah. I think we all just about got that speech.
Yeah, we wouldn't live to see 25, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna prove something to you. And they took that away from me, but again, that's like one of those things where it's like, to me, the school district is absolutely wrong, and they're only picking on him because of his rank in the class. I guarantee you, if he was a subpar student, they wouldn't be bothered. They wouldn't even care. They wouldn't care. That's the only reason. Because then you got to think about it. Once it comes to being in the top of your class, your picture is going to be taken. That school is going to be associated with you forever.
Right.
So why does your hair matter?
Because that picture that they take of you, especially, you got to remember, in the state of Texas, the valedictorian and the salutatorian, their picture goes in the paper.
Right.
And that picture is forever tied to your school.
But that's my thing though. If his dreads are not a mess, if he's keeping them up nice, you know what I'm saying? He, like you said, it's not an overnight process. He's had them for 3.5 years for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why again does that even matter? Because if he's been excelling, and again, he's not going to excel overnight either. Which means that he's been at the top. No, but that means he's been at the top. He didn't just become the top this year.
Right.
He's been at the top for 3.5 years.
But you got to think about it like this too, because I hear what Reggie is saying. It's also kind of like you got to participate in a way so your school can have a certain kind of image to get this money. You see what I'm saying? You in Mount Bellevue, Texas. This is a small ass hick town full of Republicans, a Republican pocket, so to speak. This and it's nice.
Right, I'm saying we the whole damn Republican pocket.
But what I'm saying is, it's like it's one of those zoning things. You know what I'm saying? That if you zone a certain area, you won't be a part of anybody else. This is how strict these towns are when you go further southern Texas. You know.
But the thing is, now you're not wanting this image of this young man, but now, guess what else you bringing in now? Because I brought it up earlier this week: civil rights. Yep. Now your town finna be known for something else way beyond.
But they get over it, like they always do.
But this is my thing. What type of attention do you want? If your town is prestigious, if your town is what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think. But if you have one of those towns that's just so prestigious and wants to be out there known, you know what I'm saying, and everything, which image do you want? Do you want to show the image of now you got a civil rights case that's fixing to be brought up. You know, you have now prejudice, you know, racism, or do you want to be known for having one of the top scholars in the state, regardless of what his color is, regardless of what his hair looks like?
Honestly, the schools and small schools, they don't give a shit.
I would say they don't care.
They don't give a shit.
They don't care.
They honestly don't give a shit.
They'll use him for his football.
Right.
They'll use him for his basketball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They'll use
Yeah.
him for his track. They'll use him for his tennis.
Mm-hmm.
They'll use him for their wrestling.
Right,
But they
right,
don't
right,
give
right.
a damn about none of that, because that's gonna put them on the map. And you can be a black boy, and you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
be top in athletics at a white school, but the top of your
Class
class.
and work, yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
And that's the sad part. And people just don't understand racism still exists.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
And I love to hear ignorant people say, no, it's not.
And his
I
G-
didn't-
and his GPA had to be so high to the point to whereas no matter what they tried to do to him academically, they had to find something
Right.
And
to
that's
bring him
what I'm
down
saying.
with.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you waited till now when for 3.5 years he's been excelling, if not before.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Because he's had to be a smart, genius kid his whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because becoming that high in your senior class starts at kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
It doesn't
start.
happen overnight.
They don't
Exactly.
start and when you get in high school, and I don't understand why some high school students be tripping. If you were a B student in middle school,
Yep.
you're going into high school as a B student.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mine got fucked up in kindergarten though. 'Cause it took me forever
You
to
know
learn how to
what?
spell my name. I
You
got
know
a long
what?
name.
I'm not just doing
So I'm saying, like, I was already at the B minus from kindergarten, okay? So I ain't really tripping on that, okay?
You know what?
But I mean, that's still, I mean, it just kind of pisses you off.
Yeah.
Because you think as far as we have come, you know, and have progressed in America,
Yeah.
we have gotten nowhere.
No.
We've gotten nowhere.
And
We had everybody, we had Obama. Whoop, whoop, whoop. 8 years out of 2020 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
But this is what I tell people when we talk about President Obama. Now listen, I love President Obama like everybody else. I promise to God. But President Obama wasn't president for the black folks.
no.
Exactly.
He was the president of the United fucking States.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And if anything, now I would say this about him. He was a prime example that, you know what, even at the top spot
Yeah.
that a
Yeah.
half black man got, you still ain't shit.
Yep.
At all.
You the president of the
all.
United States of America, and Montana, you still ain't shit.
Yep.
And you know what's interesting is that people don't understand. So like you and Q, y'all went to Prairie View, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. I love my HBCUs. I really do. However, there's a reason that I wear my A&M stuff and my ring so much, because everybody always asks, "Did you really go there? Did you really graduate?
Yeah.
Did you? Really,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah.
you really? Did you really? Did you?"
Yeah.
And yeah, I let them know that not only did I graduate, but I got a degree in chemical engineering. So outside of physics,
Right.
yeah, there's not another degree harder to get.
Pretty
So
much.
yeah, shut the hell up, pay me my money, leave me the fuck alone.
There you go.
Let's move on real quick. We got about 5 minutes left in the segment, real quick, and then in our next segment, what's going to happen is everybody, Miss Shimmy is going to have the floor with two great talented comedians that's visiting us on today. Do you want us in here when you do this, or?
That's up to y'all. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I mean,
think I
it
wanna
might be
sit
it might
in.
be something y'all want to kind of vibe with and see what's
Okay.
going on.
I'm gonna let you know these two gentlemen. So I went to Shimmy show the other night, right?
Pause. Let's do the next topic first, and then we'll get into
Okay.
that.
Oh,
I know,
okay.
I know where you
Yeah.
finna go with it. I know where Reggie's finna go with it.
We got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes. So check this out. So next is up on our show order is elderly members asked to leave their church.
They ain't got no more money. They on Social Security. You gotta get out.
A church made headlines for this come from CNN.com. A church made headlines for allegedly asking its members to leave, but the reality is more complicated. This church is in Minnesota. They did a report asking older parishioners to leave their church in order to attract younger families. what happens is the church is called the Grove United Methodist Church in College Grove, a suburb of St. Paul, Minnesota. I like St. Paul, Minnesota. I actually do.
That's where Mall of America is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I like St. Paul, Minnesota.
That's a good place.
But they, what you know.
Racist again.
Yeah,
Come on,
okay.
come on with it.
So the College Grove campus is home to a small, tight-knit community where its congregation is very traditional. What's happening is that the pastor is doing a new relaunch because the new pastor at this time, his name is Pastor Jeremy Peters. He's 32 years old and he's had experience in developing community relationships and new worship styles. What's going to happen is that he's going to shut the church down, and when he shuts the church down, when they reopen, it will be brand new as far as the remodeling is concerned, new praise and worship. He's redoing the whole thing. And so some church members, of course, are very upset about this. A 34-year-old Stella Knapp, who they interviewed, says if he asked older members to leave, whatever the case is, that she wouldn't attend anymore. So let's talk about that real quick. And like I said, we got about 3 minutes. This is an issue that is a very real issue in church. As a minister of 20-some odd years, I do know I've seen churches come, and just as quick as they come, quick as they go.
Yep.
Because it's not that the word is not good, it's not that you can't preach, it's not that, you know, you're not even a nice person, you know what I'm saying? If people don't invest in what you're saying, you know, I always tell people, you know, people invest in what they believe in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, not saying that you may not have the gift of pastor, but you may not be, you know, the kind of pastor that's able to keep people's attention as far as their money is concerned. And so, this man is asking elderly people, elderly families, been with this church is over 70 years old, pastors retiring, stepping down, giving it to a 32-year-old, revitalizing the church, asking older members to leave to get attract younger families. What y'all think about that?
Well, if they are over 70 years old, their time is limited anyway, no pun intended. Does it really matter if they're there or not? Because more than likely they're going to just fall asleep. They already got their Jesus. They going to meet him in heaven. It is what it is at this point. I don't understand why necessarily they just got to lead a church. They gon' I mean, give them about another 15, 20 years.
It's going to be done.
It is, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's what I see. And I get where he's coming from, because honestly and truly, a lot of the negativity and a lot of what's driving young people away from church is the older members.
That's true.
No.
Young
members will drive your ass away.
Especially if you're Baptist.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
If you're Baptist, shit.
I'm going to just tell you right now, some of the messiest people in church
is
the older women in church, them older men. Those are the messiest, most
No, you can't
people.
say older men. You gonna say older women, because older men like them young gals coming in.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But older men are not good with change. If you got the head of the deacon board and I'm 80 years old, I ain't going no damn where till I die.
Sleep on the front pew anyway. It won't even matter.
No, but his money matter. His money matter. Let me tell you something. The reason why people are on boards at church,
the money.
So I could be sleep all I want to, Montana, but if I say don't let that bitch in here, you think she coming?
Well, I wonder if
she ain't coming.
I wonder if that's what Pastor Wilson got away with. Hey, now.
Miss, let me take us to break real quick.
Right, we go.
And Montana, do me a favor. Sunshine got this music too damn long. Okay, so
I think she tried to cut it anyway.
No, she ain't
so
trying to cut
our
it.
songs on break.
Hold on. I'm trying to get Montana the instructions. Give me a second.
Can we do that?
No, I can't. Montana, we're gonna do each break is gonna be 5 minutes. Would you just play the songs, the first song 3 minutes and the second song 2 minutes? They too damn long. They ain't doing these 10, 15, 30-minute ass
now,
breaks.
You just ain't gonna talk about my sister.
I'm gonna talk about her dead in her face and on the phone and on the camera.
Anyway, so Soul Sister by Blah. And keep on pushing by the impressions, and we'll be back with the second segment of Comedy Confessions.
Yeah, all right. Yes.
So for our peoples on
Facebook,
YouTube,
right?
Facebook, YouTube.
We got enough mics?
Yeah, we got enough mic down there. So Facebook, YouTube, we're gonna change up a little bit. You know what? I just step out. So we just add another chair.
You gonna step out?
Yeah, I step out.
you
Because I'm
got
gonna take
because
pictures.
you were here.
I'm gonna take pictures.
You can do it in between.
Okay.
People on the radio.
And then
can't.
Yeah.
Keeba's the one taking pictures.
Yeah,
Oh,
Keith,
that's right. I forgot about Kiba.
Hey, now
Let me
you
go
just
get
ain't gonna
another chair.
shortchange my nephew like he ain't.
Look, I've been doing this for 3
We
years.
need-
We gotta
you got a
adjust
mic over?
the change.
I got a question
Get
for
the
You got
you.
a mic over here?
Okay.
No, do you have a pair of headphones you can plug up in this phone?
No.
I
Okay.
do.
Because it keeps giving
It's the
me.
iPhone?
Yeah, it keeps
Yeah.
giving me
I got it.
a
I got it.
volume issue in these headphones.
Alright, let's
Huh?
get this switch.
Well, I'm
Look,
thinking
we
what
got
it's trying
5
to do,
minutes.
because what it's trying to do is pull from like a big. It's trying to hear everything,
Oh, okay.
and so I'm thinking the headphones will condense it because it keeps asking for it. Okay, let's
Oh,
go
well,
get
that
our.
one is, no, that one's this one. It's the,
Yeah, it's the old school one.
yeah.
Okay, don't worry about that. We'll make it work.
Okay.
Okay.
One more chair.
I get the other
Okay.
chair.
We put one chair right here.
You just stick 2 chairs on each.
Alright, so
Bilal. I ain't heard a Bilal song in so long. He
You know
just
that-
like fall off the face of the earth, or he just like neo soul.
He popped up on that
You gonna sit on the end, or you gonna put the guest in the middle?
No, I'm gonna say he can sit on the end. That can sit on the end. Okay, go ahead. Fellas, y'all ready?
Come on in. Come on in. Come on, TJ. You gonna burn up in that jacket. I'm gonna tell you right now, you gonna burn. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Well, you light skinned, so you don't take count.
Like I told him, I never got called light
pulling
skin, so I
something
moved
towards
back.
me. Okay, now he needs some money.
You the darkest one?
No, in Indianapolis, everybody look like
Okay.
that.
You got enough money?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's right there.
good.
Oh,
We're
okay.
good.
Okay, cool.
All right, fellas.
All right, let me make sure I see y'all on camera real quick.
You know, it's alright being the only female.
So, good nature.
I'm just mad ain't nobody got no great sweats on today. But it is what it is. You gonna make it do what it do anyway.
What's with you?
What?
You just horny down for the
Just wait
It
just a
ain't
little
that.
bit.
Man,
There we go.
it ain't that. It's just
Alright.
a woman that's around a lot of black men at one time.
It's a little delayed, but that's
Kind of what you look for.
Oh, okay.
Cause
Okay, Keep you taking our pictures?
you know,
Okay. Y'all, let's pose real quick. for
I'm
Keith.
not nasty. It is what it is. Whatever.
no, I can't flip it. I can't flip it out.
They can. They can. Flip one there.
Yeah,
One more time. One more, all right.
Wait, I'm gonna get a panel as well.
You only got one. Okay, so we still got one more left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, still got one more left.
Yeah, I love y'all seven.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know,
So
it is what it is.
yeah.
So Reggie came Thursday.
Yeah.
Tell y'all, man.
Reggie got roasted just like a few times.
I wasn't mad at getting roasted because, you know, I wasn't really mad because it wasn't like a bad negative roast. But, you know, he kind of brought me in and talked about strip clubs. And like, yeah, I was like, you know, because I said I went to DG's and I was like, should I say Onyx or be like, no, because that's going to put too much of my business out there. So I'm going to say DG's because it's right in the middle of the road.
You didn't want to say that you've been to every strip club on that
Hey,
strip.
back in my day, I'm going to tell you right now, back in my day, Peeping Toms was a spot. Because
Says the
Yeah.
salutatorian. Says the smartest person in his graduating
We had
class.
strip clubs like Sunsets. You know,
Yeah.
names like that. Classic.
You know,
Did you say classic strip club?
Peeping Tom.
Yo, it's
Yeah.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Look here.
It be some wild ass names.
The bad part was the manager, the DJ, the bouncer, and the head bartender all went to high school with us.
See, the fucked up part about that is that I watched Hustlers before I came to work this morning.
So I'm just telling you right now. All right,
Wow.
welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. So we're gonna jump into segment 2 real quick, and we got some nice young gentlemen, some comedians. But I'll let Shimmy do the introductions because she knows them way better than I do.
Well, I only know one way better. I don't know TJ. I keep disassociating myself with, but it is what it is. But anyway, welcome guys. We got TJ Evans and Mr. RJ Prince. They are the representative of. I ain't gonna say it wrong because I've been saying it wrong forever.
You better say it right.
Okay, so representatives of Too Funny.
Too funny.
Right.
Right.
Yes, I have been walking around for 20 years saying 22 funny, like 22 Jump Street, but we're gonna let it make it,
Like,
you know.
what goes to your mind when you say, oh yeah, 22 funny coming?
22 funny.
Like, we don't even have an
I mean-
entourage. It's not even 22 of us.
Right.
That's the thing. They don't know we the youngest member of the Wu-Tang.
We are the youngest
So,
members of the Wu-Tang,
you know,
man, yeah.
You know,
Did he
motherfucker.
just woo us?
Yeah, woo motherfucker.
Woo.
Yeah, we are the youngest members.
You would think we roll around with a deep click. But
We
no.
don't. Like, not saying that I'm saying that they don't fuck with us, but they you know, they kind of busy. So,
They got things to do.
shit happens.
Now y'all see why it's too funny. Okay, too funny. I'm gonna go and let them plug themselves real quick. TJ, you go last because I don't really like.
Shimmy, what's
Go
up?
ahead. We'll talk. We can. Yeah.
Hey, what happened?
Now I'm gonna talk to her in a minute. Go ahead.
Hey, you supposed to put some sauce in your ribs. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, wild boy. He going around threatening old women, keep saying this shit. Like, man, you cut me off again.
I'm
Put
done.
some sauce in your ribs.
I'm
I'm like, yo, teacher, what the fuck that
Like,
means?
oh, shit.
He always tell me, no, don't worry about it.
And I ain't got no sweet baby rays in my hand.
Put some sauce in your
right.
ribs. Hey, the most outrageous shit I ever heard him say, he got upset. He was like, you know what, motherfucker, you can suck my dick to the base. I was like, yo, TJ, shit.
Hey,
You know how aggressive this shit is? You know how aggressive?
Well, considering
I'm sure you watch porn. You've seen somebody suck a dick to the base. That's aggressive as shit.
Well,
That's
TJ, but with TJ, you know, it ain't too far to the base, so it is what it is.
I've
You know
never
what I'm
seen his
saying?
penis. I can't.
How you
I
know?
can't.
I mean, you know how his dick look or something?
She don't know.
You know,
she
it's
got a
the
whole
body
room.
size.
She
Body
got
size.
It's like the body size.
That don't mean nothing.
I don't understand that. I mean, what? I mean, in order for somebody to get to the base, you jerk them to it.
I
You
know.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
there's
you-
skinny dudes out here with little dicks. Alright?
Yeah, that's
That's
what
what you're saying. Body size don't mean
I'm
shit.
just saying, like the fupa pouch on the man,
Believe me,
is
I already
a
know- I already know
little
how to
bit
move
more
that
than a
up.
woman's.
I
He's
already
already
know how to move that. You get all the way in there, like, hey, no, you gotta bend like this.
Yeah, right.
Don't put your leg like this.
Hey.
Now stay still.
In other words, he's been
I'm
man
on-
longer than you.
Right.
The funny part, I've only had a girl do this shit a couple times. I only had probably like 2 or 3 girls who do that. And every time you do it, I'm like, whoa.
Well,
What are you trying to prove right now?
Whoa.
What are you trying to prove right now? What's
Wow.
going on? I'm not paying your car note. I
Right.
don't know what you're trying to prove.
Right.
I don't know what
I'm
you're
not-
Wait a minute. Wait a minute now.
So
Damn it.
wait, hold on. Before
Wait,
we
we're
get,
supposed to be plugging
Right.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
supposed to get
yeah.
a whole plug.
I just now remembered we
My
supposed to
bad.
be doing
Yeah.
My bad.
Ah, come on now,
All right.
RJ. We gonna start with. I just
Okay, cool. How do you plug? What's going on?
so tell me,
it. Give me your socials.
give us
Oh.
your socials.
Now
All
Social
right.
Security.
6 3
Social
Oh,
Security.
my bad. RJ,
My number is
catch me
3.
on Facebook. Oh, I'm gonna cancel those sunsets.
Oh my God. Oh my
Catch me
God.
on Facebook under RJ Prince. Catch me on Instagram, RJ Prince _22 funny. In that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Not in that bitch is not in the.
It's not in the title, but
yeah.
you in it.
Yeah,
I got
funny,
it.
the funny shit about it is RJ been on comedy for about like 7 years.
Mhm.
He actually only really been doing it for like 2 years. But when you
Okay.
ask him how long he been doing it, it's 25.
Wait.
Wow.
So
I've been doing this shit.
I've been doing this shit.
Wow.
I've been funny all my life.
Oh, my God. Can't stop.
Come on.
You know,
I'm sorry,
because you're a comedian, so I know. You was
Yeah.
that one kid that when the family came over, your mom wants you to do some shit.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Like I had to do everything.
Dang,
Prayer
Mark,
before the
dang.
meal. You know, because I was always adding jokes in the prayer
I
before
was
the
too.
meal.
Oh my God.
And then just like what stories you got, boy? Tell us some stories. I have stories.
We're gonna get into
Right.
that in a
I'm
second
only in
because
the
that's
second.
actually a big, strong topic we're gonna talk about. Come on, TJ.
Sorry, I don't even playing around. On Facebook, TJ Evans. Don't forget the dots in TJ.
Never forget.
Don't want to have to run a big spot. Let's see on Instagram, TJ _22 funny, and also follow our official page, our group page, 22 funny _official on
Yeah, yeah.
Instagram.
So,
All right, guys.
You
so,
too.
so for everybody that's looking for them, we're gonna make sure we put that in the comment section, and we'll make sure we'll plug you on our
You
our
can
Facebook.
Appreciate it.
So
You can
we'll-
find us on Pornhub too.
Oh well, all right, fellas.
Too funny.
So we actually just came off of a show this week on Thursday. I was glad to be a part of the show. I'm very happy that I was a part. I actually met RJ Prince last summer.
I know that you that's comfortable, but the mic is not picking you up. So I want you to act like you know.
I
what you're doing
can't.
with
Like
that.
it just kind
Well,
of.
no, I want you to act like you know.
I got like a big damn head. Okay, so
But
it's
you
like
know
I
what to
can't.
do
I
with something
can't.
that close to your lips.
I don't know what to do with nothing
Yes,
close to my lips
yes,
because it
you
goes
do.
in the
It's bad.
mouth, not around the lips. Moving
I
on.
mean,
Like
you
I
play with it.
said,
You got the lips.
anyway,
don't you?
like I said, I met RJ last.
The lips.
Hello. Anyway, I met RJ last summer. We actually did a show with Locke Johnson down at Louis Piano Bar down at the. He does a show every Sunday as well.
Okay.
Y'all check that out if y'all can. But I didn't know RJ was a comedian because he was rapping at the showcase.
Okay.
He did his whole Magic Mike at the showcase. He was jumping on top of the stage. He jumped on top of the DJ thing. Like, he did a whole Magic Mike. So at that point, I was like, I wonder if he can sing and rap to me like that in the bedroom. I had a whole feeling.
Did you get the number?
I
Sorry, man.
I didn't have to get his number.
She had a whole
Did you
dude.
get the number?
I had a whole dude at the time.
Oh,
With half
wow.
a penis. But it was a whole dude.
Facts. Okay. But anyway,
Wow.
so I'm actually glad that I kept in touch with RJ. We kind
Hey,
of,
real quick, Shimmy, you don't know this. You don't know this.
Oh, God.
But listen. So when we was at
Oh,
that show,
okay.
we was at that show, she went before me, right?
Yeah.
At this time, I ain't did comedy in a while.
Mhm.
I wasn't really thinking about, I was thinking about music and shit. And she don't know this, but when I saw her do comedy, it actually sparked something in me. I started doing comedy right after that. I started back into going over my own shit. She actually sparked me.
that's
to
that
wanna
black
do
girl
comedy.
magic right there, man. I ain't have to give no
I was
ass.
like,
Alright,
You can't pick up everybody. You can't pick up everybody.
Ain't been nice to nobody nowadays.
Nah,
can you?
nobody.
I called Locke Johnson like 2 weeks later. Hey, I need to do comedy on the stage.
Well, we're going to jump into comedy confessions. So we're going to talk about a couple things that actually bothers us and annoys us as comedians.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna go through it. We're regular people, like everybody else. Okay? We are. We have normal lives, even though we pretty much own all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but the fact that your ass expected me to be on all the time is the problem. Okay?
Yeah.
So, number one question that comedians hate: are you funny when you tell somebody?
I say that's number 2 for me. The first one is tell me a joke.
I hate that shit.
Like, you know,
That's further down the list.
Yeah, that's further than this.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
That's number 1 for me.
I hit him with the same joke every time. I be like,
Right.
when's the best time to go to the dentist? Tooth hurting.
Every time.
You do that on stage? No, I don't. Come to the show.
You're not about to get a joke out on stage right here at this bar? Get the fuck out of here.
Where we're at right now is not conducive to what I do.
Right.
Give me a mic, at least.
I don't like it. Every time somebody say, hey, tell me a joke, I feel like they saying, hey, dance monkey.
Right.
That is one very annoying. That's a very
Like me
annoying.
and Kroger, why do you
But
want
are
me
you
to tell
funny?
you a dick joke?
Yo,
I got a bunch of dick jokes.
Somebody asked me that shit at the show. One older dude. First of all, he had no teeth up front.
Mm.
But he said,
Wow.
are you funny? I said, I'm about to show you how funny I am. Motherfucker, where the rest of your teeth? Empty your pockets right now. I told his ass that.
God.
Yeah.
Don't ask me am I funny, motherfucker.
Wow.
That's my teeth.
How did that make you feel,
What, when they ask
TJ?
you to tell me?
Yeah, are you funny?
Oh, am I funny? I don't know. I really don't get bothered by it because I show people that I'm funny just through conversation. Like I feel like I'm just funny just in general.
Right.
Like I'm just animated and I say a bunch of off-the-wall shit.
But when
Not
people
purpose.
ask you, or when you tell them, you know, are you, you know, hey, I'm a comedian, you know, are you funny?
I think so.
I would say no.
Yeah.
I would say no.
I'm like, no, I ain't
I
funny.
say no. Like, and mine always be bad. It'd be like, bitch, no. Like,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on. Like, it'd be that harsh
Shit, you're
because,
trying to get fans out of you, dog.
I mean, and that's pretty much, and those people still follow me though.
Oh, they
That's
do.
the funny
They
part.
fake it.
Because, they faking?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no, I
that's
said
okay.
they faithful. They faithful.
Oh, faithful.
Yeah.
But now my thing is, like, seriously, if I'm sitting here telling you that I'm a comedian, or if I hand you a flyer to my show, if I'm sending you an invite to my show, don't ask me if I'm funny because obviously somebody thinks I'm funny enough to put me on stage. I'm not just funny looking, but
Like,
you
you're
know,
not funny looking, Shem.
I know I'm quite gorgeous. But anyway,
See, this is why you can't big up people. This is why you can't give compliments. I know I'm gorgeous. Never mind.
but I mean, but that's your funny aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, don't sit here and tell me, you know, are you funny? Do you think you're funny? Yeah, no, bitch, I'm not funny. I'm not funny at all. Not funny at all.
I don't understand why somebody would do a comedian like that. If I come to you and say, oh, I'm a comedian, or whatever the case is, will make me laugh. Well, I don't want to make you laugh because in my thinking, I would think, okay, well, you're not paying me, so,
Right.
Right.
You know, so why the hell would I exude anything towards you unless you bought a ticket, bitch?
Yeah.
You know, type shit. You know, so I just
See,
kind of
bitch
think
is a good
like
word
that.
to tell people.
You
And
know,
see,
I don't use that.
I think it's
You
very
don't use that word?
disrespectful.
No, I don't use the word bitch. Because I did it one time when I was a kid. I called this girl in my neighborhood a bitch. She went to tell my dad he beat my ass, so I don't say that word.
Fair enough.
Well,
you know, them
Dad,
daddy ass whoopings can do something
yeah.
to you.
Oh, yeah.
Dad,
Yeah.
I say bitch a lot, so you might not want to be in the room with me.
Well,
But
It's all good. Just don't
yeah.
speaking of
I think it just depends on how you use the word.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
speaking of payments,
Speaking of payments,
that's one on the list.
Okay.
What forms of payment do you accept? Not
That's-
ass, motherfucker.
That's a
Like-
prostitution question.
Do you
ain't
see
it?
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right. You
What-
said
what
not
for-
ass, not ass.
I'm saying not like when people say, so what form of payments do you accept?
And I can't.
Oh, people have asked you that?
Yeah.
Oh, this got to be a woman thing because
If I say,
it's,
they ask
it's,
me,
it's
I'm
always
like,
it's
I
always
mean,
money.
I mean,
It's always
I think you're gonna have to start saying, well, for me, we said the conversation.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
me,
like,
yeah.
for me, you know,
For
because I
me.
mean it's so funny because like I had a guy, he came to me one time and he was just like, I want you to do a show for my brother for his birthday.
Oh, cool.
Is this some kind of like formal party or it's like a whole kickback and then all of a sudden you want me to get up? Who the fuck is telling jokes at a goddamn kickback?
I've done that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done
So-
comedy in some crazy places.
Yeah, I've had. So my company was having a Christmas party, and I was there and everything, and I'm in the owner's house. So I'm a tutor for Sylvan Learning Center, and so
Okay.
I'm in the owner's house and everything. Nice ass house, multi-million-dollar home.
Mhm.
And they talking about, yeah, so you want to do some jokes for us? You got some kid jokes, some Sylvan jokes or whatever? It's like, yeah, no, I have Sylvan jokes. That's no problem.
Okay.
These kids at my job are endless entertainment. They give me pay. And so, I'm like, yeah, no, I get up there. But I was letting fuck and shit slide and everything. You
That's
should
not
have seen the
cute.
owner's wife's
Yeah.
face. She's like, after the first fuck. After that, she loved it.
Yeah.
You had to get it out of there. You had to get it out.
You have to get the first fuck
You
out.
gotta get it out.
Yeah.
You gotta get it out.
I did a Christian comedy show once.
You did?
That was very hard.
That wasn't hard for me. I'll tell you something. I remember I told you.
Well,
I
you
dabbled
can
in it.
tell a lot of jokes because you are already the preacher man.
You know,
so
and I
it's different.
dabbled in comedy just a little bit. You know, if I would have kept going, I think it would have been pretty good. But I don't think I'm funny. I just tell a story. You know,
That's what it is.
that's what I think. And I'm like, and I just say certain things, and people laugh. I'm like, but I'm not really that funny. You know, so I don't really think about stuff like that. Like I can make y'all laugh in a group, but you know, me being on a stage by myself, I may piss on my damn self.
It's so different.
You know, but I can make a lot of people laugh in church because I damn sure talk about that tide play. You know what I mean? You know,
Well,
I don't really care.
you
I
know,
feel real good about that.
And I hate to interject, but you know, one of the things that I find that when people, and I don't know, this is just from an outside looking in, is from your perspective, when somebody asks you certain questions and they expect, you know, they're saying, oh, you're a comedian, tell me a joke, and this, that, and the other. It's like, do people ever think that if somebody says that, hey, I'm a postman, you don't ask them, hey, deliver me some mail right now.
Right.
It's not so
What's in your bag? What's in your bag? What's in your bag?
You got my mail?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, why my mail late today? You know, you don't ask a person.
That ain't even your damn postman.
But that's something. So I wear an Amazon jacket all the time. If I ever do a crime, somebody says it was a black man in an Amazon jacket, it was me.
Are you really black?
Yeah, he's the only one who wears it. Amazon employees don't wear that shit.
I mean,
I am black.
I
I
don't-
made the cut. Anyway, I'm Dominican.
I don't know.
But anyway, but no, I wear an Amazon jacket, and so people would come and say, oh, hey, you know, I had this problem with this package and everything. Oh, and I had this problem with this certain product that I ordered. Could you help me out with that? What? I don't have the system on me right now. Oh, no, I got you. Yeah.
Let me just go check real quick. Yeah.
I don't even work there. So it's even worse, bro.
You know, let me tell you, that also kind of remind me of something. I used to be an employee of a certain bank. I won't say the bank's name, but I used to be.
Right.
No, not that one.
Bank of America.
Now one. And so one time, no joke, at the time I was an assistant branch manager, and so I was walking in the store just to grab something. I was off of work. I had my shirt out or whatever, but they told us beginning of training, take your badge off before you go in public. They told us this off rip, okay? And so I just walking the store, I wasn't even thinking, big old ass Quincy sitting up there on the damn tag, B of A or whatever. And so this woman, I promise to God, out of nowhere, comes up to me and she says, oh, so you work for that motherfucker. I want my overdraft fees. I want everything you motherfuckers took from me. They closed my account today, and I just want to say, fuck you, motherfucker. I was like, I said, well, ma'am, you can call customer service at 1
Right. Trust me, I get that in my job.
And she was looking at me like
you have the fees in your pocket, like empty your pocket.
Bitch.
And I was like, well, man, I mean, I see that you have like a candy bar. You want me to buy you a candy bar?
They gonna make you feel better?
You know, I mean, because I don't give a shit if they close your account. You know, you call customer service, they ain't gonna say, well, your account is closed, ain't nothing I can do.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I mean, listen, if y'all got jobs and stuff like that, whatever case it is, that's kind of like these comedians where you know that you're supposed to go somewhere, but you really don't want nobody to really know what you're doing anyway. You know, just keep your mouth shut. Shit, you know, just shut up. I want to know who y'all favorite comics. You know,
I was actually about to get into that.
I know, but I don't want to take you too long.
You just gave like a whole spiel. I was trying to. You always telling me I'm cutting people off.
I appreciate his spiels. I like his spiels more than yours. Go ahead.
Well, you know, he did a sermon.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, in a minute, he gonna pass around the offering plate, and you gonna be pissed off because you didn't bring no change with you.
No.
But I was actually just finna get.
You owe me 10 for parking.
For parking?
No, we'll keep going.
I parked at $5. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Anyway, that's what I was actually finna get into. Like, who's your favorite comedian of all time?
Dave Chappelle.
Good one.
Oh my God, he is hilarious, bro.
Good one.
Did you? I know, but I'm the one when he was in a hospital with that little boy that's playing a video game.
Oh my
face!
God.
I was like, oh my God, that shit's
At the
hilarious.
end of the game.
He brought him back to life and talking about, Billy, you can't down me. Get the goddamn stick. What about you, man?
Same. I would say Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I don't know. I try to, no. Definitely Dave Chappelle. It's hard to deny. He's undeniable.
Oh yeah, man.
Man, I don't see how y'all just skip over the greatest of all time.
Who agrees?
Bernie Mac. That is my whole protege. Why the fuck y'all think I cuss so goddamn much?
I think
because Bernie Mac was the epitome of I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I love it. And may you rest in peace. I hate it that he left us so soon, but like, motherfucker is my word. Like, and there is not one part of my life
that you don't use that word.
That I don't use that word enough. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the fact that, you know how you want your whole life story to be told? I wanted Bernie Mac to tell my whole damn life story. Let me tell you about this motherfucking shimmy. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit that you want to hear. So now that Bernie Mac is gone, you know, bless him, all of that, you know, Samuel is about the next one.
Samuel Jackson?
Yeah, for my life story.
For
my
your
life story.
Oh, okay.
No, not comedian. No. If I, you know, my life story has to have motherfucker in it the whole time.
Now, see, this is my thing, and I understand comedy, and I've watched a lot of comedy, but what I've always found is that people always go back to like Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac. They'll go to like Eddie Murphy, but one of the things that I find, because I'm gonna dive into it. I like to find out what makes them funnier to you versus someone like Dolomite or somebody like Red Fox. Because if I look at comedy and I see all the black comedians, I see that they're derivatives of either like Dolomite or Red Fox. And it's kind of like I group them into those two categories because with me, Dolomite, his stories were funny, but you had to listen to him, and your mind had to be on to actually catch what he was saying.
Right.
You got somebody like Red Fox that was just hood, raw, funny, but then he came with some intellectual too. So to me, everybody kind of falls under those two categories, and that's how I group everybody. But I didn't know as far as you all feel. How do you all feel? How y'all feel?
Everybody's going to research somebody, not research, but like you're gonna kind of
Take mannerisms.
take you from whoever you. So that's why you know you got your people that up there. So, but I know for me it's because pretty much I was born in '92. I'm young as hell.
Okay.
So Dave Chappelle was one of Eddie Murphy was the first one I ever heard. Funny as shit. The second person was Bernie Mac on Def Comedy Jam. He was like, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. That was
Right, that's what I'm saying. He like,
so those were the
I
second
don't give a
ones.
fuck.
But these was like at the time I didn't know what comedy was. I'm like, this dude's on stage. He's really funny, but I don't know what this is. When I finally knew what comedy was and stuff, it was Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I started. It was because I didn't even really pay attention to politics and shit. He would make me want to pay attention to politics, and he made it so damn funny and shit.
Yeah.
He made me
Right.
think like his jokes was like you would miss it if you weren't really thinking.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I pay attention to as well, as a comic, you have to have great delivery.
Right,
It
right.
has to stand out. One person that I really love for that is Earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
It's how he talk. Like, you ever notice how hard he breathes and everything when he's telling
I just
stuff?
think you're fat.
Well, no, he is fat, but it's like, but it's how he tells his jokes and everything, similar to everybody else, but it's how he delivers
Right.
it. It's
Mhm.
what's different. Yeah, so content may be the same, but it's how he delivers it.
You know, I look at, you know, like I said, I dabbled in comedy a lot, and I've looked at a whole lot of comedians, you know, but let me tell you, for me, the melting pot of comedy is Harlem Nights. All of the greats on Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you look at, you know, Della Reese, and you look at, you know, I think maybe Harlem Nights would have been the shit if LaWanda Page was on it some kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, if y'all don't know who LaWanda Page is, that's Aunt Esther on Saturday and Sun. You know, because her comedy was funny as shit. I watched
Was
it.
she still alive when they did that though?
She was old as hell. I don't think she was dead.
Yeah, she was still alive,
I think
but
she
she
was
was
on
on
Nights.
that
It was in
day.
'96.
Okay,
That's
hey, look.
96.
Hey, I'm look,
Because remember
again.
Friday. Fuck you, motherfucker. You had
You're right,
motherfucker.
you're right,
See,
you're right,
Friday
right.
came out, I think, like a couple of years after that. So I think, you know, she was still kicking around. You know, and so, you know, I think about comics like them when she was on the only black woman that was on roasting, who was that? Johnny Carson or somebody. It was an old white comedian. And she was talking about their ass to their face, and I was loving every bit of it. You know, comics I look at, you know, you guys having nuts out this world. You know, because people, they heckle you, and they, you know, especially if they don't get the joke, everybody else may get it, baby, like, well, I really don't get it. Well, we know you slow, but okay, catch up with everybody else. You know, so I mean, y'all kudos to all of you guys, you know what I mean?
Quick question before we
Hey,
go
when was
to
your first heckle?
Who was or was? Oh God.
I remember mine. You was there. It was my first one.
Yeah. Yeah, you was there for mine.
Oh, I was?
My
Oh,
first
wow.
heckle.
Y'all tell us about y'all first heckle.
Yes.
God.
I want to hear
I
that.
can't think of my first.
Okay,
God,
we're
it was
gonna
so
go ahead
long
and go
ago.
to
Mine,
this one right
we
here.
was
Touch
the
it
place we met, which was a place called JJ's Lounge in Arlington. We was in there, and I think I was telling a joke about pussy. Cause it just fell off a joke. First of all, my mom lives down the street, but I wasn't expecting her to be there that night. So I had a joke about my parents fucking, and it sounded like they was in their brain. So when she walked in, I'm like, with his next joke, I wouldn't expect my mom to be in there. But fuck it, y'all. My mama loved it though. So, and then after that, it kept just going about pussy. I don't know what I was talking about, but it was about pussy. But every time I said it, this lady, it was a weird ass spot we was in. Like the stage, it wasn't a stage, or the floor we was at, but it was like a bar right here.
It's like little
So the lady
in the middle
kept-
of the bar.
Yeah, so the lady kept turning around like, making different noises and shit. And I let it rub off the first couple times. Then she was like, you need to move to something else. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. You don't like vagina jokes? I'm sorry. What's wrong with yours? You saying
Right.
about this subject? I'm sorry. And then went back talking about pussy. Like, all right. This is it. I got sex, son. I ain't got that. This is it.
What about you, TJ?
Same place. It was an old
feet.
Yeah, do with the feet. And so
Oh shit.
I'll get to that. So it was a guy who was sitting there, and what was I talking about? I forgot how, even the first joke, but he was into it. He was talking to me like it was a conversation. I'm performing. This is not time for us to sit down and have a discussion. And so then I took one of my jokes and made it about him. And so that average dick joke that I made that night and everything,
Yeah.
I put him in it. And at that point, he was with it. He was like, I love the rest of the show. He was sitting at the bar like this at first, and then turned around and watched me the entire time. After that, he loved it. And so that's the thing. I think it's the easiest thing with hecklers is making them part of the joke.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But in a way that some people you gotta disrespect.
Right.
Some people
Right.
you have to because they already went there with you.
Mhm.
Other people, it's easy just to, now you part of this show or
Right.
whatever, and do it in such a way that they want to support you through it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
now once I got his attention, everybody else is paying attention.
Exactly.
And so,
Like, you pretty much gotta give the same energy out. Like,
Right.
like him, he pretty much gave you positive energy.
yeah.
You give the same.
Mhm.
Like we did that hyena show,
Yeah. Mhm.
and like it was a guy in there. He wasn't even being disrespectful. He just
Mhm.
kept shouting out shit.
Yep.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, "Boy, you get it, boy. You doing that thing, boy." He was shouting, but like me and CJ, we've been doing this long enough to where
Yeah.
hecklers don't throw us off.
Right.
We still
Yeah.
know our next joke. We can fuck with you and still go to the next joke.
JJ's
Some people
really was the gauntlet though. That's
It
when
really
we
was.
learned how
Yeah.
to deal with
Yeah.
hecklers. Yeah.
But we was one guy up there. You knew it threw him out because he was getting mad. You know, you can't shut the fuck
Don't
up.
say shit in.
I'm
Yeah.
like, why you getting so mad? But then I didn't realize that some of these people, you know, it's hard to do. Like me, I started doing comedy in church. Hardest people to make fun is black Christians.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I started off on the roughest shit, the roughest
Right.
crowd. The two roughest people to make laugh is black Christians and bikers.
Oh yeah.
Yo,
Oh yeah.
black person. I make a bike. I went to a biker bar one time. Did comedy. Yeah, I was scared of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Hecklers for me though, like I get it
I
from
don't
men.
know. Hey.
I get it from men all the time because I've been known for my little dick jokes. That's what set me apart.
You must have a problem with little dick.
She does.
See,
Yeah,
that means you didn't watch the show because I talked about it.
That's why I
No,
wanna
but
ask
I
you-
mean,
can I
but
ask you a
ever
question
since
real
I
quick?
mentioned, you've been
But let
talking
me tell you
about
what.
little
Let me tell you what
dicks.
happened.
Before
Let
you
me-
tell what happened, can I ask you a question?
Oh, okay.
Now, you
Because
know,
this is
that's
what's
the
so
break.
funny about women. When you with this guy, his dick ain't little when y'all together.
Right.
But as soon
Oh,
as
no.
y'all break up,
Oh, no.
that little dick.
No,
back-
no,
No, this
Yeah,
girl
you ain't
was
never
with
my
her
bad.
dude.
I was with my
She
little
with
dick
her
then.
dude.
I was
and
with him
talking
then.
about his little dick.
I was with him
I'm
then.
like,
His little
I'm
dick.
like, they're not gonna be together no more. Because she is
So
talking
he
about
was,
this
who was
dude.
he in good conversation with? Did he rub your feet?
It was supposed to be my safe relationship.
That's what
But
it
the
was.
first time I ever
Stop
gave a
doing
little
that.
dick joke. First time I ever did a
No,
little
it's
dick
time
joke.
for break.
I know.
Actually.
I will talk about it on break, so y'all gotta stay tuned on Facebook Live. So we're gonna go on and head on out to break, and what we got now? Black Boy Fly, Kendrick Lamar, and Get Up 10. That's my shit. Cardi B. That's my shit right there.
We'll be right
And
back.
we'll be right back, everybody.
Wu-Tang.
So,
But yeah, so
Wu-Tang.
my little dick joke. When I first started telling the little dick jokes, my dude was in the audience at the time, and like I do it for one because I need you to be able to handle every type of situation.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get up there and I get to tell him the joke. Now, me, when I get drunk, and I'm gonna tell y'all the story about why women keep fucking little dicks. So his thing was,
Why you keep fucking with this?
yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. It's a quick nut. Anyway, but so our spot was Applebee's.
I have a
Wings.
issue.
Wait a minute. Wings.
I have a problem.
Wait.
You,
Wings and dollar margarita. Okay,
Yeah, that's what
you
you
get
fucked up.
you. There you go. I
Them
get about
margaritas
4 or
fucked
5. Yeah, 4 or 5, 6,
They
7
make them in a trash.
dollar margaritas. You know what I'm saying? That shit'll get you fucked up.
Yeah, sure.
So when I get home, I'm already halfway with. All I need is his little penis just to give me just a little bit of wind. It's a wind thing.
Yeah.
So when he pull out, and the wind is what get you off. It ain't his dick.
you know your cooch gonna have gas.
Oh, a little bit. She's gonna be queefing.
I
A little bit.
love,
It
I
is
love
what it
them
is.
noises, too.
But the
Hey.
first time,
Oh, I love them.
Oh,
First-
you better stop.
see y'all.
Ooh,
Girl, okay,
Oh, I'm
you
in
better
there,
stop.
huh? Oh, I'm-
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in there, huh?
Girl.
I hate y'all. The first time
Right there,
I
right
told the joke, he yells out in the back of the room, "Guess why the fuck I ain't taking you to Applebee's tonight?" And walked out. Like the shit was funny, but he was in the car.
But did you point them out when you was telling the jokes?
No.
Oh, he
so
pointed himself out?
He gave his
He's
whole stuff,
stupid.
but he kept coming and he kept supporting me after that because then he kept doing the heckle, and the more shows I did, everybody just thought it was part of the show.
With his little dick having ass.
And hey, that's fine. Now, he's still my
But he
friend.
represented though. He came to every show. There's some big dick niggas in there that ain't shit.
At all,
I'm
I
telling
fuck
you.
with some
That
big
nigga
dicks
got
that
me
ain't shit.
slanging and shit, but ain't got a job. Can't keep a damn job. He be trying to put his hands on women and shit. He be calling you I'm a fat for no reason.
Yeah.
He a no good ass nigga. But he'll fucking blow your back out though. He'll blow your back out.
Have you crying when you leave?
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta leave now.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now, you
You know
gotta
what I'm
leave.
saying?
I gotta
Your
go to
home-
work, baby.
Hey,
You know you ain't
your
got no child
your
time.
homegirls be saying, why the fuck you still with Reggie? Why you still with Reggie? You like,
blew my back
"Cause-
out last
cause me and
night."
Reggie got potential, you know.
Nah, Reggie ain't got no fucking
Yeah.
potential. Reggie gonna have your ass 16
So, time out.
Yeah,
Why you
yeah.
gotta use my name
Hey,
now?
my bad, Reggie.
I
Hey, I know you
Why you
like
Reggie, I'm gonna be honest with
Why
you.
you
There's a
gotta
list of names that ain't shit. It's Reggie. Rodney. That's his real name.
Rodney on that. That's why I go by RJ.
Roger. It's
Hey,
something about the
my
R.
cousin ain't Rodney. He a good dude.
Hold on now.
My cousin is
Think about all the Rodneys. Think about all the Rodneys.
Yeah.
Baby boy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Wait a minute, hold on. Time the fuck out. Time the fuck out, cause none of that shit applies to me.
But
I'm
you
so
are actually quite a
Reggie.
I'm slanging
He
dick.
didn't
but
say that, but
I didn't say that part.
he is a bout shit nigga. Okay,
But no, Reggie, what I'll tell you
But
is,
did you have that time in your life where you knew you wasn't shit?
No.
Don't lie.
No, Reggie,
Did
this is
you
what I
not
tell
hear that he was the salutatorian of his high school class? Like, this nigga been
yeah.
bout shit his whole life.
I'm not talking about the college. I'm talking about high school. You gave her some dick. She broke your heart out the front. And you're like, I'm gonna fuck these hoes for a little bit, just for like 6 months.
No, and it's like in your professional life and everything, and the people, the life that people
See,
see.
he can
It's the slut puppy on
he
that
can
show.
bounce for me though.
No,
He
that-
can, I wasn't like that though.
No, it's not what you do in public. Because you may be shit in public. But when you do it home, it's something you do at home that people don't know about. You let your dishes stay too long.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You
just
let
saying
that
right
Like
now.
you be laying in the bed and you'll slide your finger in your ass and be like,
No.
It's shower time. It's shower time. It's shower time.
he won't never tell us. He won't never tell us. But it's the shit you want.
It's shit like that.
No,
Wow.
wow.
Wow. You over girl house
So-
sleep, but you didn't want to wake up, so you pissed
Oh
in the
wow.
sink.
So we
All the flush your toilet at one time.
Now I know to be listening for my damn sink in the middle of the night.
Niggas out here pissing in sinks like this all the time. Let me go here and put your ball. You
don't have a high ass sink either.
gotta put your tippy toes up.
so oh my god. Oh my god.
Now y'all see why I don't mind hooking up with 22 funny. 22 years of funny right here. I know 22
years of this shit.
22 years of funny in this bitch.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my god.
We'll take it.
Oh Jesus. So yeah.
Ladies, if you hear the sink in the middle of the night, your nigga don't want to
You
wake you up. But
He
he in
done
there
left the
rinsing out
restroom,
his
but you
dick
hear
and
no
he
toilet flushing.
pissed in your sink here.
And a little of it splash in your toilet brush.
Make sure everybody y'all share this broadcast, follow this broadcast, make sure you do all that good shit for us. Give us some hearts, some likes, some laughs, all
Oh,
that
gosh.
good shit.
Oh man,
Yeah.
So
y'all.
that
Stupid.
means, so that means when they piss in the sink, they only turn the water on low a little bit so they can do this.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
go
drizzle.
back,
Yeah.
nigga,
Yeah,
go
I
to bed.
didn't pee for real.
Oh, yeah.
If I didn't pee in the toilet, I didn't pee for real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just a little swing. Just a
It's
little
different.
swinkle.
Like when I pee
Y'all
in the
don't
shower, I
understand,
wash
but
my
y'all don't
hands.
understand that's difficult for women too. Like when you have to pee in the middle of the fucking night,
That's
and then
true.
your dude still want to like fuck around after you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like you can't go
if he
jump in the
listen to
shower.
some
and just-
shit.
Hey, if he
I
love
have.
you, if he love you,
You don't give a shit about pee.
I don't, but I'm just saying. Okay, fine. Y'all don't give a shit, but now I know because I just be like feeling real awkward.
we
I done
do.
took a whole monkey bath after I done peed because I want this nigga to eat his coochie some more.
Exactly.
So I'm saying like
You don't-
you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta,
You
I
gotta,
be
you
in there kind
gotta,
of.
you gotta, yeah.
Yeah,
After
like,
you
I can't just go pee and then
Hey,
just-
if a dude go down on you and he takes a little pee, I promise you're not gonna stop. He gonna be like, oh, man, just pee. Ain't gonna keep going.
No,
But it
nah,
depends.
I'ma
But
stop.
no, it depends though because have we been asleep for a minute before we got back to this shit? Because that means now we do have the morning breath. It may be 2:30, but we got the morning breath.
got the morning breath.
I'm not about to be putting my mouth on your shit because it's been sitting closed.
You
Like
know what I'm
this
saying?
while
Oh,
you've been
yeah.
asleep.
And when she
And
opened
it's
up,
been stewing.
Oh, yeah.
Marinate.
Open the legs,
Marinate.
open the legs, all muggy. Like you just walked outside
Yep.
and it's still falling. Oh, yeah, it's a little muggy.
It's
when
gonna,
you-
it's gonna taste a little different. So
Oh, yeah,
no, we
just
just
a
doing
little bit.
sex. We not.
All right, y'all. So just so y'all know, y'all that's behind.
But those
If you
are
see
facts,
me,
though. Those
if
are
you
facts.
see me in the streets with TJ or RJ, one of them is my man now. Okay, because they doing all the things. Y'all see this? These are some niggas that don't give a fuck.
Alright, stand by, y'all. Stand by.
Probably come up
Look
with
like they
threesome
joining
shit.
us for our last segment because we ain't
Yeah.
kicked them off yet. So we just
So yeah, y'all just gonna roll with it.
we gotta roll from comedy to the series. We gotta,
Okay.
We can mix
Yeah.
it too.
Okay.
So what's next?
Amen.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
Y'all-
getting rid of the star test.
Oh Lord.
Well, that's a good
Oh,
time.
no,
TJ
it's
works for,
Yeah.
I mean, he has
Oh,
Sylvan,
yeah,
so there
let's
might
talk
be
about
something.
Hey, I almost didn't fucking walk right to the stage. That damn science one.
Oh,
I
damn.
took it 4 times.
All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. And so, for those listening to us on the After Party Live, you know, on Spotify, Google Play, a podcast. Hey, if y'all want to see what happens behind the scenes, because honestly, what happened while we was on break is just retarded. So I'm gonna need y'all to go to our Facebook channel. You know, check us out on YouTube. And just see what happens in between the breaks. Because the kerfuffle that happens behind the scenes, yes, I got my word back.
love
I
that
use my
word.
word,
Yes.
kerfuffle. The kerfuffle that happens
Love
behind the
that shit.
scenes, I'm just telling y'all will laugh y'all ass off.
Denise said she know all about the water running.
See,
She just said that.
See, she knows.
So if y'all want to know about the water running, y'all got to go back and catch us on Facebook Live.
They know.
Listen, check this out. I know we said we was gonna talk about the star test, right?
Yeah.
But let's keep it kind of like a hot topic. We'll talk about the star test in just a second. I found an article, ladies and gentlemen. It was just so wonderful. I was so elated to read this.
Uh-oh.
This comes from actually BuzzFeed.news actually. Black people deserve better than Tyler Perry's
Show
latest
fucking right.
movie. Okay, well
So fucking right. And I'm going to tell you why.
No, you're not.
Go ahead and read the article, and then I'm going to tell you why the fuck we deserve
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
Black people deserve better than Tyler Perry's latest movie. Tyler Perry's terrible new Netflix movie, A Fall from Grace, makes it clear that it's time that he should start collaborating with artists who actually have something to say. In this latest film, Tay says that he made his first debut to Netflix. As all by appearances intended to be a thriller, but when I watched the movie this past weekend, I couldn't suppress my laughter. Let's see here. Crystal Fox, of course, a single middle-aged black woman, played by Grace Waters, who is swept off her feet by Shannon Delone, which is Mikael Brooks, whose real-life good looks are squandered under an atrocious wig. I agree with that. Of course, things are not what they seem in this romantic bubble Grace enjoys, but it's but a moment suddenly bursts when she finally finds out that Shannon stolen sensitive information that allows him to wire nearly $300,000 from a job at the bank and gets her fired and all other kind of shit. So I'm gonna scroll down a little bit real quickly here, and they're talking about, I guess maybe Tyler Perry's sloppy execution of his own movies. They talk about the downtrodden of black women. They talk about here in this article that there are some scenes where she's putting on slippers in one scene. When she was coming down the stairs, she had on those shoes.
Yes.
The wigs. They talking about the changing sizes and shapes, like they didn't do the body doubles right.
Right.
They were also talking about even if you didn't show up to work or something like that, the extras were even fined to actually do this film. And what I want to say real quickly here is, before we start dogging Tyler Perry's ass, because like I said, I was happy to read this. The thing is that I've seen some of Tyler Perry's